Most of it was just attaching a bunch of other stuff in there to scam. And it said, oh, except the big banks, we're exempt from this. And that's what this new banking talk is. I've looked at what they're proposing. And what they've done is, if you're a small town bank that's done business right, and you got a couple bankers on the board that made a lot of money the old-fashioned way, by loaning people money, by actually trying to build up their community, bedrock of the community, we need lending, we need banks locally. They just start sending in regulators controlled by Goldman Sachs. They literally have almost every top position. If they don't, it's J.P. Morgan Chase or others. They control the regulators, and they go in and take over your state bank. They come and take over your rural bank. They come in and take over your farming or local industry bank. They grab WAMU, flush with cash, and just eat it. They're pirates. They don't want banks locally loaning to you. That's come out in their documents that they said, well, we're going to have too much inflation if the public actually gets this money. We'll just keep it for ourselves. Because you won't really see inflation when they're busy buying up depressed real estate. It's one of the little tricks they run. And I'm talking about ports. I'm talking about factories. And then they move them out of the country. The only part of the money in the so-called auto bailout that had nothing to do with that, the only thing it had to do with it was giving billions of dollars to move General Motors to Brazil, Eastern Europe, Russia, and China. Yeah, your tax money to move them out of the country. What you have is just a sickening, unbelievable, festering orgy of theft going on. And these criminals are going down.
You know, I heard your show when you were talking about Glenn Beck and the danger of the population just kind of going over to the right, you know, the fake conservative movement. And I think the 9/11 documentaries and the fake terror certainly helped to expose that aspect of it. But there
and that's
are a
why
group of
Cass
people.
Sunstein at the White House and Glenn Beck are going off the same talking points, and the Homeland Security documents demonizing 9/11 truth. They know that if that fable, that legend, that hoax, that we've got to give our rights up or these foreign enemies will get us, their whole fraud of the naked body scanners, the police state, Northcom, is built on that. Remember in the debate, the Republican primary debate, how the Republicans all lined up and demonized Ron Paul. There's a great article by Nate Blakesley I just saw it again last night in Texas Monthly, where he chronicles what we all watched on television, but then behind the scenes, how the Republicans were all just savaging him on the stage, off the stage, because he was exposing the fraud of these wars. I mean, these are not conservatives. And so just to understand, they're not going to reverse much of what Obama did, and they're going to continue the police state once they get in power. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think where the Republicans are particularly, or the neocons, it's important to make the distinction, are particularly vulnerable is in their massive spending, because
the Baker bailout, tripling the size of government, claiming they're against it now. Absolutely.
Yes, because there's a large number of just mainline conservatives who just won't open their eyes to 9/11. Eventually they will, but right now they're just not ready. But you show them how much the neocons are spending, how far they're digging us into a debt that can never be repaid, and I think they'll revolt against Glenn Beck and the others.
Well, notice how Obama said, we're going to freeze discretionary spending. That means to the citizens' welfare. They've gotten us addicted. We're domesticated. Now they're going to slaughter some of the hogs for Christmas. And so they're going to cut all of the benefits, cut the Medicare, cut the Medicaid as the taxes and revenue go up and up and up, because it all goes to the bankers. So unlimited money to the bankers and the military-industrial complex, more wars, the troops serving 2, 3, 4, 5, now some 6 tours in the last 8 years. It goes on and on and on and on.
And one thing, in addition to the spending, I think if the mainline conservative understands that terrorism isn't a tactic that's meant to overthrow your military, to destroy your government. Obviously, it can't do that. Instead, it's a tactic particularly designed to deplete your treasury, to destroy your government. And then when they look and see the fact that, wow, we are doing exactly that, we're depleting our treasury in order to fight this terrorism, I think then people understand, gee, maybe the terrorists are winning, not because, they control.
Yeah, but see, the central bankers want to bankrupt us to be into debt. To them, they are the terrorists. They're staging most of the big terror attacks. I appreciate your call. It's far worse than that. Look, I respect Michael Savage because he will tell it like it is on many issues. I mean, he's light years ahead of Rush Limbaugh, light years ahead of Glenn Beck. He was against the Baker bailout. He, has exposed the Patriot Act being used against American citizens. He's calls it a new world order. But most importantly, he talks about Obama a year ago. When Obama was first elected, he said Obama will stage terror attacks as soon as his approval rating plunges and people find out who he is. Savage knew, like I knew a year ago. Well, I even knew before Obama got elected he was going to be the guy, and started the film the day he was elected, Obama Deception, started making it. It was out in early March of 2009. But he knew they were going to stage terror attacks, and they are. And now saying bin Laden's alive, here's a new tape, a new fake tape, and, the underwear bombing clearly staged. Now the FBI's had to admit all those things that Kurt Haskell said were all true. In fact, if we called Kurt Haskell, is he coming on? Because he was totally vindicated. They completely caved in and admitted he was right now. I mean, this is incredible. Okay, good. I just want to remind you guys. That broke Sunday, CNN. The FBI goes, okay, there was a second guy we detained and arrested. We won't tell you who he is. Forget about it. We were watching him. He was on a no-fly list. We let him on. Yeah, there might have been a bomb. I mean, sharp-dressed man. Just on and on. Somebody videotaping the whole event. But the issue that I'm trying to get at with the last caller is we know that they are staging terror attacks. We know that their approval rating was going to go down. We understood this whole messianic thing was a front that was going to fall apart. We knew he wasn't going to deliver. Now, Glenn Beck saying I'm bad and that 9/11 truthers want to kill Obama with no evidence, just saying it almost every day on the radio. Secret Service protect Obama from the 9/11 truthers, like we're terrorists. That's a talking point he's been following since 2007, that Ron Paul supporters are going to bomb buildings, that Ron Paul supporters are these dangerous 9/11 truthers, that Ron Paul supporters want terrorism, that Ron Paul supporters want to work with Al-Qaeda when we're saying it isn't even real because the history shows that in the facts. On and on and on and on and on. And now if Obama stages a terror attack and I try to come out against it, I'll guarantee you Glenn Beck's going to be saying I'm bad. That guy will flip on you in a minute. He flip-flops like a flounder. And what am I supposed to do here? I mean, it's elementary. It's elementary information. Okay? Our government's declassified over 200 times it staged terror attacks. It's admitted. It's in Army manuals for captains and above in special ops how to stage false flags. It's in the manuals. They do it. It's a tool of war. And here's the coup de grace for everybody out there in denial, all the fake conservatives. Let me break your conditioning right now. If all of that doesn't wake you up, does this wake you up? MIAC, Homeland Security documents. Remember those last year that gun owners, veterans, libertarians, conservatives, returning veterans are the number one threat, and Homeland Security is set up for us? The whole thing is set up for you, not the CIA asset, admittedly, former CIA asset, current CIA asset, dead in the ground, Osama bin Laden. I mean, it's elementary. The fake bin Laden tapes, they admit are fake over and over again. And they think you're so stupid they put them out. They are playing you. Just like Obama supporters are being played by Obama. Just stop being chumps. I mean, come on. I forgot to turn my phone off, guys. It's in here ding-donging. Here, let me see who's calling. I'll answer it on air. I have no idea who this is. Here, let's see who it is. Hello? Who's this? Dean Haglund. I thought I needed to answer the phone. You know, I'm live on the radio, bro. That's funny. Dean Haglund, star of X-Files and Lone Gunman and a lot of other movies and films. Remember, he came and told us about how the CIA was telling him what to do in their scripts.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?